So we get this question a lot about why we decided to move to Greece from the US versus Portugal. And hi, if you're new here, my name's Kara. I'm the digital nomad mom. And 2 years ago, my family and I sold everything we had to travel the world full time, but now we have relocated to Greece. So if you're also interested in moving to Europe, then this video is going to be really important for you. 2 years ago, we ended up doing a program called Boundless Life that allowed our family to spend 3 months in Central Portugal. And after those 3 months, we were absolutely so in love with Portugal. So we decided that we were going to move forward with pursuing getting a digital nomad visa to relocate there. Now, something that's really important to understand when you're applying for a digital nomad visa is that most countries with a digital nomad visa have two different options. The first option is typically what's called a long stay visa, which means you apply from your home country at the nearest consulate to you, and that provides you, upon approval, with 1 year in the country. There are typically less requirements for a long stay visa. Then there's also what's called a temporary residency visa. It's the same digital nomad visa, but it allows you more time in the country. So for Portugal, for example, theirs is 2 years versus the 1. Spain and Greece also have this exact same setup. Now, we were really interested in applying for the temporary residency digital nomad visa, which would allow us to have 2 years in Portugal. However, when we started moving through the process, we realized that we needed to apply for our visa from within the United States. We also all had to be present at our visa appointment in the United States because we have 3 people. I have my husband and my daughter who are going to be on my visa. And after our visa appointment, we had to wait to get our passports back. So you have to give your passports over to the consulate during your appointment, because if you're approved, they're going to send it back to you via mail, which also means you can't travel internationally while you are waiting for that decision from the Portuguese government. Now, Greece works a little bit differently, which is why we chose it. So for Greece, if you want to apply for the digital nomad visa, the long stay, which only gives you a year, you can do it from the Greek consulate in your home country. Or if you're like us and you want more time, you can apply for your temporary residency digital nomad visa from within Greece. A huge benefit to being able to do this is that it allows us to stay in Greece while we are awaiting our final decision for our visa approval. So even though our visas are not officially approved, we are in processing, which allows us to stay in Greece. And we applied back in the summer of last year of 2024, and we are still in processing, awaiting a decision. And until we get that decision, we can remain here in Greece. Now, something to keep in mind when you're looking at the different visa options is the cost. If you're applying for the 1 year long stay visa from your home country, typically there's going to be less cost associated with your visa application versus if you apply from within the country like we did. My costs were 1,000 euros for my application and 450 euros for my husband and my daughter's application. So just to give you a cost comparison, if we had done this in the States for just the 1 year long-term stay visa, we most likely would have been under $1,000 for all of our costs. Now, another thing you really want to keep in mind whenever you're applying for a visa for a European country is thinking about it being a Schengen country, because once you have permanent residency in a Schengen country, you have access to all of the Schengen countries, which I believe is around 27 or 28 different countries now. So not only do you want to love the place that you are relocating to, but you also want to keep in mind what the application and the processing will look like while you await the final decision for your visa. What are some of the benefits that you'll receive once you get that approval for your visa? And also something to really take note of is what are the tax implications when you are going to become a resident or a temporary resident of that country. So if you're interested in learning more about how to leave the US, you can grab my $7 ebook all about how to leave the US in 6 months or less. And of course, be sure to follow for more.